Hey everybody, welcome to the first episode of the DUSK After Dark podcast. And no, I realize that it's not after dark, it's actually middle of the day. But that is the name of our podcast, the DUSK After Dark podcast. Hosted by myself, AimDownSites, and I have GhostKilla with me as well. He will be our co-host for this awesome podcast. And so it's our first one, so we just want to break down some of the groundwork for our podcast. Each episode, we're going to have a different guest, and we'll go over some great things. We'll talk about their experiences, their enjoyment time here in Dusk, if they are in Dusk, and just we'll talk it up today with our guest. We'll talk about his life, and yeah, I'm ready to get to it. Ghost, you ready?
Let's get her on started.
What are you eating?
Chipotle, bro. Chipotle. I'm finishing my Chipotle. Don't hate it.
All right. So we'll introduce our first guest on the podcast. His name is wvufan, also known as Tom. Hi, Tom.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Apparently, Ghost is too with his Chipotle. So,
yeah, I'm doing excellent.
Do you like?
Did you bring enough for everybody?
Oh,
I mean, if you guys want, we can split this in 3 portions if you guys want.
I'm
That'll
down.
work.
Send it in the mail. I'll send you my address.
I'll send it FedEx to you.
Perfect.
right.
All right. I like it. So we're all getting some free Chipotle out of this. So it's great. It's great. All right, Tom.
AKA, we are not sponsored by Chipotle just yet.
Yes.
Just yet.
We could. Hey, Chipotle, if you want to sponsor this podcast, we enjoy your food. We'll say that. We enjoy your food. Right. All right. So, Tom, we're going to get to know you a little bit to start things off here. We're going to do a first segment with you here, and it's just going to be a little bit of a lightning round. Talk a few minutes, get to know you, ask you some random questions. So if you are ready, we'll start shooting you questions.
Do it.
All right. Our first question is basic. What is your name? Introduce yourself to everyone.
My name is Tom. I go by wvufan. I've been called other things. I'll answer just about anything. But Tom.
All right. What is your age?
In, 17 days, I will be 62.
62 in 17 days. All right. Well, happy early birthday to you, Tom.
Thank you.
62. That is,
Are you retired yet?
No.
that is, that's almost 3 times my age. So, how's it make you feel?
Not bad.
All right. Well,
I
you
don't feel like I'm 62.
I was gonna say you do look great for a 62-year-old. So
Like you're
you
in
look
your young
great.
40s.
Right.
I'll take it.
All right. What is your favorite color?
Yellow.
Yellow. Favorite food?
Ooh.
Pizza.
Pizza. Like any kind of pizza? What like special toppings? What do you like?
Like deep dish, thin crust.
Thin
Cheesy
crust,
crust.
pepperoni, extra sauce, extra cheese.
All right. As long as you don't say pineapple on pizza, we will be fine.
Okay,
So-
all right. We're not having this argument.
Oh, you can have pineapple and pizza as long as you have bacon and what else to go with? Ham, bacon, and pineapple.
Tom, I thought we were
He's
friends.
cringing.
I thought we were
Oh,
friends.
Damn.
Oh man. Okay. Well, we're just gonna move on from that horrible topic. What is your favorite animal?
Try that again.
What is your favorite animal?
A dog.
A dog? Any type
Cow.
of dog?
Specific. Cow.
Cow? All right. Why a cow?
Cow. No, chow.
Oh, chow?
Chow.
Oh.
Yeah, the one with the purple tongue.
Oh.
I've had several of them.
Really?
Yes.
Huh. I don't
Very
think I've ever
loyal
seen one.
dogs.
I don't think I've ever seen one.
I will have to send you pictures. I had a black one here at the house. She passed away several years ago.
Oh, okay.
Very loyal dog, though.
Fair. Dogs are my favorite as well. You guys both know I have my dog Bear.
Bear, the legend.
Ghost calls him the legend. So, all right. How long have you been in Dusk?
It will be 4 years the end of this month.
4 years at the end of this month. Well, happy anniversary then as well. So you're
Thank
just
you.
on a streak. All right.
Yes.
What would you say is your favorite thing about Dusk?
The people.
All right. Any
The people make the community.
And any favorites in particular?
I could get in trouble with that.
Top three.
top three?
Top three. I would have to say, let's do top four, because I'd have to go Advitel, Otter.
Wait. Are we doing from 4 to 1 or 1 to 4?
Oh, no certain order.
No order.
No order. Advitel, Otter, ADS, and Ghost.
All right. Hey, we're both in there. All right.
I think that first name is number 4 on the list.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
well.
we could put him down there.
Yeah. we'll leave the top
honestly,
three.
I would have to say Ghost is number 1.
Oh.
And ADS is like 0.5% behind him.
That's all right. I'll take that. That's the only time Ghost is going to beat me in anything.
0.5% like your height.
Ghost, I'm taller than you.
Yeah, 0.5%.
Yeah. So that's the only time Ghost is going to beat me in any sort of competition. So I'll take this L.
I like him because he screams like a little girl.
All right. Let's move on to the next question already.
Love
question.
It. All right. What is your favorite video game?
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. Any specific Call of Duty?
Oh man.
I know.
There's a couple of them. There's a couple. I started playing Call of Duty on a PlayStation 2.
Yep. Yeah, it's not like there's 14 of them to choose from? Something like that.
Oh,
I don't know.
Oh, there's a lot more than that.
I have no idea.
But if you want to go multiplayer
that's
oriented,
true.
then you cut down the list a lot.
All right.
I would, the favorite I think would have to be the zombies on Black Ops 3.
Hey, I am right there with you.
Ops 3.
I am right there with you. Black Ops 3 Zombies was my absolute favorite. My absolute favorite.
Okay, alright.
I loved Black Ops 3 Zombies. I could go and replay that any day of the week. It was so great. I loved it.
I keep that one on my hard drive.
Yep.
That one stays on the hard drive.
Absolutely. All right, and last question. If you could build a sports dream team, so we could either talk basketball, baseball, football, whatever you want to do. If you could build a sports dream team, who would be on it?
Oh man, I would say a football team.
Okay.
And I would have to go with Jerry Rice. Oh God, quarterback, that would be a tough one. I would go way back in the day with Sonny Jurgensen or Billy Kilmer from the Redskins.
Okay.
That's before your time.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Like age material there.
Mr. Taylor from the Giants on defense.
All right.
A lot. Lawrence Taylor was great.
Yep.
Rob Gronkowski, tight end.
Pick.
Let's see. I need a good running back.
Yeah, who you gonna grab for running back?
Eddie George.
Eddie George. All right. That'd be a one heck of a. Although I do not know that quarterback, so I cannot speak for that.
That quarterback, I don't know either.
But
these guys played back when, for a face mask, all they had was one bar that went right around here. And they came off the field every game, usually with a broken nose. I mean, just blood everywhere. They had no protection at all.
Was that was that before TVs had color?
Yes. Matter of fact, it was.
Gee, that's Stone Age.
That's great. I absolutely love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's back when the only football game you would see was probably on a Saturday afternoon for college, and maybe one or two games on Sunday for the NFL. And they were
Okay.
usually on ABC.
All
And we
right.
had an antenna. We didn't have cable. We had the antenna. So if you didn't get ABC, you just screwed.
All right. All right. Well, so that'll end that for our little lightning round there, getting to know you. And so we will talk next about your military experiences. We can see in the background behind you, you got your Marine Corps flag, your United States flag, and everything. So we will we'll dive a little bit deep into your military experiences. We'll start off just how long did you serve in the military?
I served 17 years in the United States Marine Corps.
All right. Well,
17 years.
I know I can speak for Ghost and I, and pretty much a lot of people when we say thank you for your service. So
You're welcome.
Thank you again.
Believe me, that was my honor.
all right. Well,
What did you
go ahead.
what did
Ghost.
you do in the military? Like, what was your like title job?
My military occupational skill was aviation electronics technician.
Okay, and for the dumb people like me, what did that entail?
Okay, within a squadron, we had 12 jet aircraft per squadron. And at the squadron level, you had guys that would go out and actually work on the aircraft. The pilots would come back, they would write up discrepancies. Those guys would go out, figure out what box was bad. They would send it over to me. I would work on it, repair it, put it back in supply, and it would go back.
Okay. All right. Did you do that your entire 17 years or?
No, I did a 3-year stint as an instructor.
Okay.
I was in North Carolina, and I taught the entire avionics system on the AV-8B Harrier, the jump jet.
Okay. All right then.
Did you see any in-field experience, or were you just mostly on base majority of your time?
No, we did deployments. When the squadrons had to go, we were attached. There was like 120 guys in my work center, and everybody was attached to one of the 5 squadrons there at the base. And when that squadron went, those that were attached to that squadron, we went with them in support.
Okay. So what places, how many different places were you deployed to? And out of those, did you have any cool experiences at any of them? I know
Yes.
deployment's always not going to be, cool and exciting, but did you experiencing anything that you absolutely loved on your deployment?
I was deployed to Japan twice, Okinawa once, Korea twice, the Philippines, and I would say the most fun was in Japan. And after I did my first deployment there, I was lucky I got to go back for a 3-year tour and take my whole family.
Oh.
But Japan is just, you have to experience Japan. It's really hard to describe it. I lived out in town for a while before I got base housing. And in Japan, you could leave your house wide open, anything sitting in the yard, go away for the entire day, come back, and nobody would touch a thing. The crime rate was almost 0.
All right.
And it was cheaper to buy a case of beer than it was a case of soda. So it's needless to say, we had lots of parties.
That's
I
great.
wanted you to drink alcohol instead of pop. But
Oh, hell yeah. I didn't drink soda when I was over there. A half a gallon of Jim Beam was like $6.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Beam and Coke.
Bunch of drunks
old
over
Beam and
there, you
Coke.
guys probably were.
Oh,
huh?
we were. On my 6-month deployment, that's basically what it was. It was a 6-month party. We worked 12 hours on, 12 hours off, and when we was off duty, we partied.
That's great. That's hilarious. All right.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. Is there anything that you learned in the military that you love to be able to share with other people, that a big life lesson or something you've learned to follow that's inspired you and helped you through your own personal life?
I think the biggest thing I learned in the military was how to be organized. And with organization, it makes everything else so much easier. And not just, I mean, organization in daily things that I do, organization in my life, organization in everything. And when I got out, I found out just how much you don't have that in the civilian world. And it's a challenge to keep it going, but it can be done.
All right, yeah, that is. I know that's personally one thing for me. Like, I'm not like a seriously organized person, but I definitely have to have a good amount of organization to keep things, not cluttered everywhere. Whenever I get unorganized, I feel like life is just a mess. So I have to keep things at least a decent bit organized, right? Like, start to lose my mind.
Yeah, and I mean, in the military, we didn't really have a choice. You had to be organized, but there again, you could have your own level of organization, whatever you felt comfortable with. And for a while, I was a single parent raising 2 kids while I was in the military, and I had to take care of the house and everything. And when I would have guys from the shop over, that they would come over and their wives would say, "How do you keep your house so clean? I wish I could do that." And it's like, well, the kids go to bed and I start cleaning. It might be 5 or 6 hours later when I get done, but I kept a clean house. I had to. I lived on base, and when you live on base, you have no privacy because the people at housing can come in at any time into your house, even when you're not home, and they inspect it. They look for all kinds of stuff. They check the lint dryer or the lint trap in your dryer to make sure that you've cleaned it out. And if you don't, they write you up. And after you get wrote up so many times, they kick you out of base housing. So you had to learn how to do that. Sounds goofy keeping your lint trap clean, but and I bitch at my wife all the time about keeping it clean, and she doesn't understand why.
Yeah, house fire waiting to happen if you don't clean out your lint.
Yes, that's what I keep telling her. I said, one of these days, house going to burn down.
Yep, if you don't check your lint trap.
That's one thing I was always taught when I was a child. Like, whenever like I had to do laundry as a kid, my parents did you clean the lint trap? I'm like, yes, Mom.
Mm-hmm.
Takes a lot of discipline to learn that kind of organizational skills, because it's so easy to kind of get lazy some days.
Toss them aside and forget about it altogether.
So takes a lot of discipline. What is the most let's see. What are some cool military stories that you might have? Do you have any cool, unique stories from the military experience?
Yeah. One of them was in Korea. We were out on Liberty. We were done with the workday, and they had what they called a town, which basically was a couple hole-in-the-wall bars with a bunch of working girls. And we were on our way there, myself, Jeff, George, and a guy that we called Space Cat, which you'd have to see a picture of him to understand why. We're walking down there and going along, just the fat, dumb, and happy. And all of a sudden, Space Cat isn't with us anymore. And we're trying to figure out why. And we look back, and over there, their sewer system is basically like a ditch with a bunch of covers on the top of it, and there was a cover missing, and Space Cat fell in.
Oh no!
Gee. In the sewer.
Oh
yeah.
No!
It's basically just a big concrete ditch, and they have concrete pads on the top of it, and there was one that was missing, and he was walking along. It was dark, didn't notice, and bloop, he was gone.
Oh no! He had to have smelled so bad after that.
We didn't let him hang around with us the rest of the night. So.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Oh no!
So I have a question for you about your military experience. What you earn any awards or medals, during your 17-year tenure in the military at all?
Yes, I did. I think I have 8 or 9 ribbons. I have several personal commendations. I have a stack of papers about that thick from stuff that I've been awarded for. I came up through the ranks really quick in the military.
What
I
did you go out as?
I came out as a staff sergeant, which is an E6, which I made E6 in 7 years, which is pretty good. And from that point on, there was never an opening to get promoted to a gunnery sergeant, which was E7. There was never an opening for it. So that's why I ended up staying in E6. But yeah, I don't want to sound like I'm patting myself on the back, but I was good at what I did. I was very good at what I did. And
I mean, that's something to pat yourself on the back. I mean, the military life, that's a lot hard fought thing to go through and do. And you know, I have buddies who are in the military. My dad was ex-Marines. He flew chin hooks, so I know all about the military life, and I know anytime somebody gets awarded or something that gets promoted, you know, the effort that they're putting in, and it shows. I mean,
yeah,
that's
I think my
dad
was I think it was my second tour in Japan, and I was actually with a helicopter squadron. It was search and rescue for the headquarters squadron, and they needed somebody to be what they call the expediter, which he's the go between supply and everybody in the squadron needs a part. And I dealt with like $6 million worth of equipment in a year, and every penny of it was accounted for. And I got an award for that, which that made me feel pretty good. That was a lot of money. I didn't realize it. I had no idea. That was just my job, and I did it. And then one day we had a formation and they called me up and I got an award. It's like, cool, I can live with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Right. Yeah, that's a very impressive thing to be able to do to keep track of all of that. So
now,
yeah.
Last question. I don't know if you want to answer this or not, but did you actually see combat?
Yes and no.
Yes and no? Okay.
Yeah, I did, but nobody knows about it.
Okay.
Fair enough. Right. Fair enough.
That's I'll take that answer. That's fine.
All right.
I know how sometimes they don't want to talk about situations like that, so I understand.
Yeah, with the air wing, it was really weird because we never knew when we were going anywhere unless it was actually because everybody had to do a deployment overseas. Every 6 months we rotated the squadron to Japan, and you knew when you were going. But for anything else, it was like they would just come up and say, okay, go pack your shit and we'll tell you when we're coming to get you. And that's what they did. And it was like within a couple hours and we were gone. And we didn't know where we were going, didn't know how long we were going to be gone, didn't know why we were going. And we didn't find out till we got there. And we didn't know when we were coming back. I mean, you know, just, okay, we're leaving, and we left.
All right. All right. Do you have any other, like, last little bit things you'd like to talk about your military experiences or anything before we move on to our last little piece here?
Yeah, I found out that when you're overseas and you get into some recreational, we'll say drugs, that shit is really potent, and you're not careful. I was sitting in a chair, and the next thing I know, I was on my back looking straight up into the sky. And it's like, wow. So that was, yeah, that was something. That was my last time too. That scared the crap out of.
That's great.
But you got to experiment. What the hell?
All right.
As long as you had fun. That's all that really matters at that point.
Yep.
Okay. All right. This last little bit here, we'll talk a few minutes about sports. As we went by your gamer tag, you're obviously a WVU fan. For those who don't know, that is West Virginia University.
Yep, the Mountaineers.
Why? So let's start off. Why are you a big fan of the West Virginia Mountaineers?
Well, two reasons. One, they're only about an hour away. And number two, my son and my daughter went to WVU.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I mean that's kind of how it works with most colleges. You know, I'm a fan of. I live in Iowa. I'm a fan of the Iowa Hawkeyes. So that's how it goes for
Yep.
me.
I live in Maryland, but I can't stand the Maryland Terrapins. They suck too. So
Oh yeah, they stink. They stink. They really
yeah,
do.
and they beat West Virginia this year, which really sucks. But
Yeah.
it's only fair because I mean we've been beating the crap out of them for so long. It hasn't been funny.
Yeah, West Virginia has not looked great this year. So,
Yeah, 1 and
No.
3. 1 and 3.
They won this weekend.
Yep.
Yep, they won their second game this weekend. The conference game.
Okay. I was gonna say that they were 1 and 3 in the conference, 3 and 4 overall. Okay.
Yeah,
I missed
yeah.
that
They
part.
beat Virginia Tech, which we thought was really something good, but Virginia Tech I think has only won one game, so not so good. But yeah, we
Virginia
actually won
Tech's
the conference
3 and
game
4.
this weekend.
Virginia Tech's 3 and 4. They're okay. They're not
the team they used to be. They're not what they used to be.
I mean, they're not the number 9 ranked Iowa Hawkeyes, but
No.
nah.
Back when
to,
I'll tell you
Purdue.
what, Iowa's offense sucks. It is bad.
lost to Purdue. Purdue.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had
Iowa's-
something stuck in my throat.
Iowa's
Sorry.
offense is awful to watch. I hate watching it. It is so bad.
You guys should have lost that game against Penn State. I'm sorry.
Incorrect. I disagree.
No, if he didn't get hurt, you guys would have lost that game. He scored 17 points on you guys
So
before he got hurt.
So
You guys didn't do nothing. You guys didn't do nothing after that.
didn't do nothing. That is a double negative, my friend. Your
Yeah,
I don't
grammar
care.
is
We're not. This
awful.
ain't grammar class. This ain't English. I don't care. I don't care. This is just a podcast, bro.
But no, I won that game fair and square. It sucks that their quarterback is a big wussy and got hurt. You know, take a hit.
Yeah. Okay. How about you go play some football and throw some pads on and get crushed by some big D lineman?
See, I won't do that because I know I can't. If you can't play the game, don't play.
Yeah, you couldn't pay me to put on pads to go play against those guys.
Right. I would die. So
it'd be a very quick death.
yeah.
It'd be like one play. Well, he's out of there.
I'm pretty
he's
sure
done.
all of Tom's bones would shatter.
Oh hell yeah, no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have any other favorite professional sports teams or anything like that?
Well, I used to be a big Washington Redskins fan, but then they decided they had to change their name. So to me, they'll always be the Redskins. I don't care what anybody else thinks, but one of these days they'll decide on a name, which will probably suck, and I won't root for them anymore.
It's got to be better than the Washington football team, though.
Anything's better than the Washington football team. That sounds like one of those organizations where they say, well, it doesn't matter if you win or lose. Everybody gets a trophy as long as you played.
Gosh. Oh, that's a horrible team to root for. Jeez, they stink.
Yeah, and they had a lot of bad stuff come out of that organization as well. So
And it's not done yet.
That place is a dumpster fire.
Yep, you ain't kidding.
So
RG3 the savior, then RG3 the failure.
I miss RG3, bro.
Well, I'll tell you what, they screwed RG3, and what happened to him was Dan Snyder's fault because they played him. He was injured, and they refused to take him out. They made him play, and that injured him for life, and he has not been the same, never will be. And that wasn't RG3's fault. He was a good quarterback, but they screwed him. And they need to get rid of Dan Snyder.
RG3 was Lamar Jackson before Lamar Jackson. Like, that's what everyone thought he was going to be. You know, everyone talked about RG3 being the next Mike Vick. And he looked great.
RG3 he could throw. He was it.
ACL injury screws it all up.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. Because he was good. He was really good. He was fun to watch too. But
and people were just aghast whenever he was injured and they made him play. And it's like, oh my God. Dumbasses.
There's been a lot of quarterbacks that have hit like terrible injuries and just never come back.
Look at Alex Smith at Washington. Him too.
Yeah,
Alex went down Smith with his injury.
That has to be probably the most gruesome injury I've ever seen.
Who was that?
Alex Smith.
No. Did you see Joe Theismann?
Oh,
they were about
very
the same.
true.
They were about the same.
Yeah, that looked to be about the same injury.
Yep. The one with Joe Theismann, I was in Japan when that happened. I had a real nice tape deck over there, VCR.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those VCRs over there had everything on them. It was like a Cadillac, and this thing had super slow mo. And when they played it on TV, they played it in slow motion. So I recorded that.
Oh.
Then I played the slow motion in super slow motion, which is almost like frame by frame. And you could see his leg. You could see the bone break come out through his sock and then go into the ground.
Oh.
And I mean, when you see it in slow motion like that, you get to really see what happened to his leg. And I have never seen an injury anywhere else ever compared to that.
Yeah. Another Teddy Bridgewater, whenever he tore his ACL. I believe that's what happened to him. He's never been the same because he was great with.
He was a great quarterback.
Yeah, he was going to lose his leg.
He was great with the Vikings until he got injured, and now he's been to the Panthers. He wasn't great with the Panthers, and he hasn't been great with the Broncos. Dak has still been great after his bad injury last year. That was an awful injury as well. But he's been great.
He's come back. He's come back a lot better than what people thought he would.
He'll definitely.
Much as I hate the Cowboys, I have to say he's good.
Yes, he is. He'll definitely get comeback player of the year this year, without a doubt in my mind.
Oh yeah.
There's not
100%.
There's not
think
another
there's anybody
person.
else that got injured last year that would become close to that award.
No, because there was a lot of names.
And they gave him time too. They did everything right. They rehabbed him. They didn't set a timetable for him to return. Mm-hmm. They just looked at it and said, "You'll come back whenever you're ready." And they made sure he was ready before they let him come back.
Yeah, because there's been a lot of there was a lot of big name injuries last year, and some of those players are hurt again this year. Like Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley. I don't know. It's tough. That's a tough sport to play. I could never do it.
Well, and I don't think they get enough practice before they start the season. I don't know what's going on, but these guys are physically not ready to play. I mean, it happens over the last, 5 years, within the first month of football. How many guys get injured? I mean, to the point where they're probably not going to play the rest of the season. And that's something that's just started, I'd say, within the past 5 years. These guys do not get enough workout before they start. They're not ready to play physically.
Do you think that might be? Do you think that might be them personally, maybe not doing enough in on their own free time?
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. These guys,
your body.
They're more worried about, are they going to get $70 million? Or are they going to get $100 million? Should I hold out? Do I need to go to camp? And they're, the whole time they're going through this, they need to be out there and they need to be working, getting themselves physically ready, but they're not. They're just sitting there waiting for their agent to call and say, "Yeah, we got you your deal. Now you can go play." And then when they go to play, they're not ready. So the guy that held out for the $100 million plays 2 games and then he's out for the rest of the year.
All right.
It also comes down to how well these athletes take care of their body, because a lot of them just cut back and don't, take care of their body as much. I mean,
yeah.
You look at Tom Brady and you see the age that he's playing quarterback and, how he's doing. I mean, he had one injury that took him out for a whole year, and that was an ACL that he had no control of because the guy went low on him. And that man's, you see him on the injury report all the time, but he's still playing and he's still fighting through his injuries, and he's probably, I think he's the oldest person in the league right now.
Yes,
he is.
Yep.
And you look at him though. I mean, this guy's in great physical shape because he takes care of himself. Mm-hmm. And these other guys, when football season is over, they just kick back and they don't do anything until maybe spring training or something. If that, then they don't do much in spring training either. Mm-hmm. But they don't. To me, if you're going to play football, that's going to be a year-round commitment to keeping yourself physically fit and healthy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
That's your job. That's your livelihood. Right
yeah. Because players are getting bigger, stronger, and, especially if you're a quarterback, you're going to get thumped. And it's not like it used to be. You're going to get thumped and taken out.
Yeah, but they are protecting the quarterbacks a lot more now compared to
Oh
what
yeah,
it was
They
before,
definitely are.
especially like
Definitely are.
helmet to helmet hits and then anything below the waist
yeah,
prevent those
yeah,
ACL
yeah.
injuries on these
If you go
quarterbacks.
below the thighs, I think. But
Yeah, I forget where that they call that
Yep.
a penalty at.
Yep.
I saw Terry Bradshaw when he got picked up and dumped on his head. And then that's when they came out with the rule you couldn't grab a quarterback and do that too. You can't slam him to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the guy grabbed him and pretty much suplexed him over his back and dumped him right on his head.
Oh yeah, that you can't suplex
Yeah.
anybody no
Yeah,
more.
and nope.
But now they're
And-
almost to a place where they're too soft. You know, you push a quarterback with your pinky finger and you get a flag for it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but it also comes down to the refs too. The refs are just not that.
They're
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 the
not
way
cons-
technology is. You don't need refs. I'm sorry, you don't need refs. You can have officials in the box calling stuff than on the field.
yeah.
The way the camera angles and everything is, they can
Yeah.
call the game from a box, not on
my
the field.
my big thing is this helmet to helmet and the targeting and everything is when you see a running back going down the field or even a receiver after he's caught the ball and he's running and the defender's coming in to hit him. Well, the defender's going to come in low. So the guy that's running, he goes low. They end up hitting helmets.
Yeah.
That's not the defender's fault.
No.
He was going low. The other guy's going to go low so he can run him over. And then the defensive man, he gets all for targeting. It's like, no, you need to get rid of that rule altogether.
It's tough. It's a big judgment call game in like.
Well,
They
I
typically
can
don't call that unless he's a defenseless receiver. That's
And
really
I
the only time that gets called.
And I can see targeting if the guy leaves his feet and launches himself and he goes helmet first into somebody. And I don't care where he hits him, whether he hits him in the chest, hits him in the shoulder, hits him in the head. If you launch and you go head first, to me, that's targeting. And that's the only targeting there should be is if you launch yourself and go like a spear into somebody. That's targeting.
Lead with the crown of your helmet. That's
Yep.
what it comes down
If you
to.
launch and do that, that's the only targeting there needs to be.
All right, fair enough. Well, we are out of time for our first episode. So, Tom, we thank you so much for being our first guest. We enjoyed getting to talk to you.
Thank you for having me.
So it was a great time, and we look forward to doing this again with whoever our next guest is. Thank you, Tom, once again for sharing your experiences with us and telling us some stories. It was a great time. Yeah, all right, guys. Thanks, everybody, so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did, and we will see you all in the next one. Peace out.
See everybody later. Thanks, guys.
Love.